Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Morgan. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also turn on the notifications so you can see when I do uploads, which will probably be every week. At least I'm trying, but we know life gets in the way. Anyway, if you're returning, welcome back. Pull up a chair. We're gonna do something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. I wanted to do a foundation series, and so this is part 1 of my foundation series. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down my favorite high-end foundations, my favorite drugstore foundations, and then the foundations that just don't work for me at all. And not saying they wouldn't work for you, but you know, they're problematic. We're just gonna put it at that. Okay, so I have combination skin. I typically get oily in my T-zone. My nose is typically pretty oily. My forehead doesn't get that bad, but I can get dry flakes around my eyebrows, and I can stay dry pretty much throughout my mouth region, but my nose does get oily, pretty much selectively in my nose. So not even really here, just kind of like right there, big old oil slick by the end of the day. All right, and so as far as my skin tone, I have a neutral skin tone in the winter, which means that I run pretty neutral. I can pretty much get away with really neutral foundations, but in the summer I get more golden. So I have a mixture of foundations in this whole collection, in this whole series, that will be a mixture of golden and neutral, and depending on the time of the year, those are the foundations that I can use and look the best. So keep that in mind as you're going through this series. So let's go ahead and start with the first section, which is the high-end foundations. So number 6 on my high-end foundation list is the Becca Skin Love. I'm in the shade Bamboo. It's 1.23 fluid ounces. It is a weightless blur foundation. It's infused with a Glow Nectar Brightening Complex. I picked this up because I was looking for something that was a little bit dewy, and that's definitely what this is. It looks beautiful on the skin. My only complaint with this foundation in particular is it comes off a little red. So I don't think it has enough shade ranges. I think there were only 12 or so shades in this foundation, so I wasn't a huge fan of that. So a con for this foundation is it comes off red. A pro for it is it's a beautiful finish, and it is very dewy and medium to, I'd say light to medium coverage on this one. So I do like this foundation, but it is number 6, so it's not the top spot for high end. Number 5, I know I'm gonna get some hate for this because it's not my top 3, but number 5 is the Fenty Beauty, and I have a good explanation for this. I kind of vary between 310 and 330, but the whole entire time I feel like it's a little too bright for my skin. The neutrals are a little too olive, so I can't really fix that. 345 is a little too dark for me. 330 is probably the right skin shade. The undertone is a little too yellow. Now in the summer, this will probably be a really great foundation for me to do, or to use, but for right now, since it is winter, this is gonna get a number 5 spot for me. Also, a big con with this one is it is so drying. Like I said, I have combination oily skin, mostly oily in the T-zone. It looks beautiful right here throughout the rest of the day, but once I put it on, the rest of my face feels super dry. I wish this formula was a little bit closer to their concealer formula, because the concealer formula is a little creamier, and I feel like that's a little bit more doable for my skin type. Now I can get a great finish with this when I apply an oil. So I would say a pro for this is it is full coverage, it is extremely matte, and you can adjust how dewy the finish is if you apply an oil underneath the skin. However, the con again is that it is really drying. So if you're not doing proper skin prep with this, you're gonna come off cakey, you're gonna come flaky, and you have to exfoliate. There's just a lot of prep you have to do in order to wear this and make it look flawless. So number 4 is my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear. I love this foundation. It's really nice for me in the winter because it is a more neutral shade in my opinion. This is in the shade Valencia. So this one to me is very lightweight. I think it's a light to medium build for me. I don't think it's full coverage. I don't really think it's intended to be. It wears really nicely on the skin all day. The only thing that I do notice about this foundation after the day is done is in my oily spots, it does a little bit of separation. So, you know, with primer you could fix that, but this one for me is just a beautiful, lightweight, goes on effortlessly. I never have any real issue with the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation, again in Valencia. Number 3 is my OG. Like, I love this foundation, but it's not taking top spot, and I'll explain why later. Double Wear, Estee Lauder Double Wear, transport resistant. Like, if you're looking for a transport resistant foundation, this is your go-to. I'm in the shade 4N2. I actually think I could get away with 5W1 as well in the summer, or 4W, I think I can get away with 4W3. I don't remember. Anyway, 4 and 2 is the best shade for me in the winter. I do, however, think as a con, it comes off a little pink. I think none of the shade range for the Estee Lauder Double Wear is truly warm enough. It's either super yellow, super red, or pink. There's nothing that's kind of a really good neutral in my opinion. This is a neutral, but again, like I said, it looks a little pink. But as far as staying in place all day, looking flawless on the skin, amazing. Definitely worth the money. A little bit will get you a long way here. It looks beautiful every time I put it on. It just depends on, again, where my skin is as far as seasons are concerned, and you know, if I really, really just want to wear this, I try to make sure I always bring it down my neck because it will make my neck look a little bit darker than it normally is. Number 2, CoverFX Power Plate Foundation. This stuff right here is amazing. My skin looks like I just applied it 8 hours later. It is beautiful. The coverage is beautiful. The foundation itself, just like the color match is spot on, especially in the summer months. Like, it is spot on. This is the shade G70. I've done a review of the Power Plate Concealer with this foundation. Power Plate Concealer, also one of my favorites. If I have to pick one foundation to go on a trip with, one foundation and concealer to go on a trip with, it's this foundation and it's the Power Plate Concealer. It always goes on flawlessly. It always looks good. I don't have to set the concealer. It doesn't really have to, I don't have to mess with it. It doesn't dry too quickly. It doesn't dry too slowly. It's just perfect. Like, this is a perfect combination. And when I just need something quick and easy, this is what I go for. And what I'm looking for in foundations is something that can wear all day with minimal fuss. I wear glasses through most of my work day, so I wanna make sure it doesn't pick up all the time. I don't want a lot of dents right here, and typically a lot of foundations will do that for me. I don't want to settle my laugh lines. I don't want it to separate here or underneath of my nose. I have noticed some foundations do that. I need it to stay in place, and I don't want to touch it up. I'm at work, I'm busy. I don't have time to always bring out a compact and some powder and pat my face down. I need to look good effortlessly all the time for that 8 hours. I don't want to have any problematic areas. And number 1 for this foundation series of the high-end foundations, I don't even know if this is really considered a high-end foundation. I mean, it is because they sell it in Sephora. I believe they sell it in Sephora. I know they sell it in Ulta and like the expensive side. The Bare Pro. This stuff right here came out of left field for me. I remember it was on sale at Ulta for like $19, and I'm like, why not pick it up? I've never tried it. I'm in the shade 23 Cardamom, and when I put this on, I was blown away. It looks beautiful on the skin. It is transfer resistant, not as good as the Estee Double Wear, but this stuff looks so amazing. It is so lightweight. It's medium full coverage. It's easily buildable. I mean, it just looks really nice on the skin, and it doesn't really matter what kind of skincare prep you do. I mean, every primer I've tried with this looks amazing. Just using moisturizer before putting this on, it looks amazing. You can sheer it out with a little bit more moisturizer. You can sheer it out with a little bit of oil to make it more dewy. But the skin finish, it's got a skin-light finish. It is just probably one of my favorite go-to foundations. Like, this thing is definitely always traveling with me if I'm taking more than one foundation. Like I said before, CoverFX is the one that I'm taking if I only have one and it's an overnight stay or whatever, but if I'm going on vacation, this is always in my bag. I love this foundation. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will reveal what I am wearing on my skin right now later at the very end of this series. So the very, very end. This is part 1. When we get to part 3, I'll tell you what I'm wearing. I'll tell you how I apply it and why I think it is the overall winner for all of my foundations that I own. I think it might surprise some of you guys. But yeah, so I will talk to you later. I hope you guys have a good one, and be sure to leave any comments or questions down below. If you have a foundation that you think deserves honorable mention or you think I need to try out, please let me know. I love foundations. I live for them. Like, literally, I own so many of them. As you can see, this is just a little smattering of my high end, and I have a little smattering of my drugstore, and I have a little smattering of the worst of the worst. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, leave it down below if you have any questions, comments, or something I should try, and I will talk to you later. Bye.